So, last class we are discussing about the instruction format. So, unlike in 8085 the maximum instruction size is of 3 byte, but here the maximum instruction size is of 6 bytes, isn't it? Minimum is 1 and maximum is 6. That means, there are some instructions which will occupy 1 byte, some instructions may occupy 2 bytes, some instruction may 3 byte, 4 byte, 5 byte and finally 6 byte, or the longest instruction is of 6 bytes. Is it okay? Now, whenever you write the 6 byte instruction, what are the fields or what are the bit position of each instruction? What is the meaning of each bit position while finding the corresponding binary code or hex code of that particular instruction? So, you can see this is the byte 1, byte 2, byte 3, byte 4, byte 5, byte 6. This is called byte encoding scheme. We are encoding the instruction using 6 bytes, and you know that 1 byte is 8 bits, and every bit position has some meaning. What is the meaning? You can see in the very first byte, just time being ignore D0 and D1. If you take D2 to D7, there are 6 bits. These 6 bits will indicate opcodes, right? So, because of these 6 bits, we can get 2 to the power 6. How much? 64 combinations, and each combination can be attached to or can be assigned to an opcode. So, this shows that there are 64 different opcodes can be possible, right? 64 opcodes, but the total number of 64 types of opcodes, but there are different again we will see that there are large number of opcodes available, but 64 is the common. For example, add immediates, add with registers, add with the memory locations, they may have one opcode, but their other fields will be varying depending upon the instruction. Okay. Then you can see in the byte 2, the first 3 bits is indicating either register or memory, right. In the same way, the other 3 bits, that is D3 to D5, that will indicate only register, which register is holding the operand or the data. And this mode bit and DW bit, that we shall see what is the meaning of D and W. So, just let me write the meaning of each bit position. D2 to D7, so, let us first discuss the first byte. In the first byte, you can see bit position D2 to D7. This will specify the operation to be performed, the opcode, the operation to be performed. And D1 bit is for D. D stands for direction bit, right. So, this defines whether the register operand is in byte 2 or is the source or destination. But how to identify whether it is a source register or destination register? That we can find out from this. D equal to 1, the register operand is the destination operand, and D equal to 0 means the register operand is the source operand, and you know what is the source and destination. Okay. Then similarly, D0 represents the data size. When you store some value in the register, what is the data size you are using? If W equal to 0, you can see D0 bit position is the W, this one. So, this W will indicate if it is 0, that means you are using an 8 bit data in your instruction, or if W is equal to 1, you are using a 16 bit instruction, a 16 bit data in your instruction. Is it okay? So, this is the explanation about the first byte. Similarly, we will go for the second byte. Is it clear? The first byte, we are telling that how the data will be represented. What is the representation of the data using the binary digits? Then second byte meaning, this will specify whether the operand is in memory or in the register. So, okay, so this is the second byte. In the second byte, D 6th position and D 7th position, this will indicate the mode bits. And how do you interpret the mode bits? There are 4 combinations and each combination is having different meaning. Like 00 indicates memory addressing without displacement. That means you are not using displacement for computing the address of a memory location. So, 01 means memory address with 8 bit displacement. So, 16 bit, 8 bit. So, based upon that we have divided the mode into 4 groups. Okay. Then the next byte is third byte. Okay, so third and fourth byte indicates lower 8 bit displacement and higher 8 bit displacement. That means the opcode and other informations are usually available in the first 2 bytes, first byte and second byte, and the remaining bytes are used for the displacement and operands. Okay. So, similarly, we have fifth byte and sixth byte. This represents higher 8 bit displacement. Okay. So, total there are 6 bytes and this will vary from instruction to instruction. Okay. So, this is actually useful whenever you write the program using the microprocessor kit, but as far as theory is concerned, we will not ask you what is the hex code for each instruction. Only if you know the opcode part and operand part, that is sufficient for writing the programs using 8086. But if you know the encoding scheme, it will be better to interpret the equivalent binary code while writing an instruction. Am I clear? So, if you know the encoding pattern, which bit indicates what, that will be better in understanding the hex code or the binary code equivalent of this instruction, assembly language instruction. Otherwise, for writing the program, I think assembly language codes are sufficient enough. If you know the assembly language instructions, so anyway, we shall more focus on the assembly language instructions instead of the hex code or the binary code which is encoded. So, let us go for 8086 instruction sets. So, the first category we have data transfer instructions. Example 1, move 0345 23H. What is the meaning of this? This is clearly data transfer instruction, and here always as I told you, in the Intel series of microprocessors, source is in the right side and destination always in the left side. So, transferring the data means you are transferring 23 into a memory location whose address is 0345 or the displacement value is 0345. So, actual address how to get it? DS into 10 plus 0345. Take the content of data segment register value, then multiply with it 1H, 10H, then R0345, because 0345 is the displacement which is present in the instruction that we can get, and this 23 will be transferred to this location. Is it clear? Example 2, move 400 AX, comma AX. What is the meaning of this? Yes. So, AL, this time we have 16-bit register. So, AL will be stored in 4000 and in 4001 H value will be stored. Is it okay? What is the meaning of this instruction? So, 2340 is the displacement value. By using that, I can get the 20-bit or 5-digit in hexadecimal physical address. From that location, the data will be transferred to AL. So, this refers to an 8-bit data. Move CX, 0500H. What is the meaning of this? 0500 is referring to a memory location. Its content will be transferred to CL. Then the next memory location content will be transferred to CH. Just observe these two instructions, exchange AX, BX. What is the meaning of this? So, Bx is 16-bit register and Ax is also 16-bit register. Both the value will be swapped, exchanged. So, Bx value after executing this instruction, Bx content will be made available in Ax and Ax content will be available in Bx. Is it okay? So, similarly, if I write xc hg al comma 0300, what is the meaning of this? So, 0300 is the memory location and that is referring to an 8-bit location, its content will be exchanged with al. What is the meaning of this? In al comma 01h. So, 01h is the port address, an input device port address, from where an 8-bit data will be loaded into the register al, because al is referring to 8-bit register. Similarly, if I write an x comma dx, what is the meaning of this? Yes, the first instruction is very clear. What is the meaning of the second instruction? What is the value available in dx? It is a 16-bit data or address. So, a 16-bit port address of an input device is available in the register dx, and from that device the data will be available in ax. Ax means a 16-bit data will be loaded. What is the meaning of push ax? So, this is indicating a 16-bit value. So, al content will be pushed into the stack, then stack pointer will be incremented by 1, then h content will be pushed into the stack. So, push value, it is referring to the stack operation. Okay. So, second category is arithmetic instruction. What is the meaning of this? So, 22 is an 8-bit data and al is containing an 8-bit value. So, al contents will be added with 22h and the result will be stored in al. Is it clear? Can I write this instruction? Add x comma bx. So, x content will be added with bx content and the result will be stored in ax. Then what? How do you interpret this instruction? Add al comma bx. This time bx is storing a data that is referring to a memory location address and its content is 8-bit. That will be added with al and the result will be stored in al. So, the moment you give a square bracket, this will indicate the content of that, and that content is an address, a memory location address, whose content is a 8-bit data, and that will be added with al. So, do not confuse with this and this. Here bx content is participating in the operation, but here bx is containing a memory location address. That is how you can. So, the bracket is very important. If you do not give bracket, its meaning is different, and if you give bracket, its meaning is different. Similarly, what is the meaning of this? Add bx comma cx. Can I write this instruction? It is a valid instruction or not? Valid or invalid? Just verify this. This is just I am giving an assignment. Whether in 8086, can I write this instruction? Add bx comma cx, and this also you can verify. Add bx comma cl. Just check whether these instructions are valid or invalid. Add x comma cx, it is a valid or invalid instruction. ADC opcode is allowed. So, C stands for carry, add with carry. So, AX content will be added with CX along with the previous carry, if at all any carry is there, that we can get from the carry flag. If the carry flag is set to 1, so carry flag plus AX content and BX content will be added together, all three components will be added together and the result will be stored in AX. And if the carry is generated, carry flag will be set to 1. If it is not generated, carry flag will be reset to 0. So, what is the meaning of this instruction? Subtract AX comma 0100. So, here 0100 is the data or address? This is the data, because we have not used any square bracket or nothing, right. So, 0100 is the data which will be subtracted from AX. So, remember, always you will subtract the number from AX. AX is never subtracted from anywhere. We subtract the number from AX and the result will be stored in AX, because 0100 is a data which is not capable of storing the result. Only the register can store the result. Is it okay? What is the meaning of this? DCAX. It is something similar to DCX, INX and a DCX. So, here we are using the slightly, as I told you, slightly the syntax is changed. There we used to write DCX, now we are writing DC. So, DCAX. What is the meaning of this? AX content will be decremented by 1, and since it is a 16-bit register, first the lower order byte will be decremented first by 1. Similarly, the corresponding opcode for INC AX. What is the meaning of this? AX content will be incremented by 1 after executing this instruction. That is how we have to interpret. So, what is this instruction? NEG. NEG stands for negate. So, only the sign of that particular operand which you have written in the destination place will be changed. If it is negative, it will become positive. If it is positive, it will become negative. I think this instruction was not there in 8085. This is an additional instruction available in 8086. Next example, arithmetic instruction: compare destination and source. In the place of source and destination, either you can write a data, or you can write a register, or you can write a memory location. Okay. So, what is the comparison? Comparison means basically a subtraction operation, and you are testing whether the source is equal to destination, or less than equal to destination, or greater than equal to destination. But how to test this condition? By using the flags. We have 9 flags, and 5 flags are most common, which are also available in 8085, and from that we can find out whether the results is generating a carry or not, result is negative or positive, result is 0 or non-zero. All these things we can find out with the subtraction information. So, every comparison operation is basically a subtraction operation, but the results will not be affected. Neither source or destination will be affected by the subtraction operation. Only comparison will take place, but no destination, no source value will be affected. However, the flags will be affected. Flags will be affected, but the operands will not be affected. That is the meaning of compare instruction. And this is also a new instruction, multiply BL. What is the meaning of this? I am not writing AL here. So, by default you will understand AL is there. So, AL will be multiplied with the BL content, and the result will be stored in AL. Is it okay? And I can also very well write multiply BX, means BX content will be multiplied with AX, and the result will be stored in AX, which was not there in 8085. Similarly, I can write divide. Okay, so in the divide, so here also in the multiplication and division instruction, you can see accumulator is implicit. Accumulator we are not writing, but by default accumulator is there. So, what happens? Suppose the accumulator is AL and we are dividing by CL, and what the quotient is there in AL, and the remainder will be available in AH by default. That we have to, only this is the instruction you have to remember very clearly, that where the quotient is stored and where the remainder is stored. And in both multiplication and division instruction, you need not specify the AL value, accumulator value. Similarly, if you are writing divide BX, and where the quotient will be available, AX, and DX will have remainder for 16-bit division. So, for 8-bit division, remainder will be in H, for 16-bit division, remainder will be in DX. These things we have to remember with respect to multiplication and division. And third category of instruction is logical or bit manipulation instruction. So, initially we saw the data transfer instruction. We can transfer the data from any register to another register, memory location to register, or an 8-bit data we can move to the register. Then we saw the various types of arithmetic instruction. I just gave some representative examples, and there can be a lot of variations, because you can see I am writing multiply BL. I can also write multiply an 8-bit data, but MUL remains constant, the opcode remains constant and the operands may vary. So, based upon that we have a number of instructions associated with the multiplication instruction that you can verify from the book Douglas and Hull, or in the net also you can find, but mostly you will find out an exhaustive set of instructions for 8086 in the book Douglas and Hull. Here the instruction format is given, it is equivalent binary code, opcode, everything is given, and all varieties of instructions available with respect to a opcode are addressed there. Here just I am taking some important what do you call which are, so that you can understand that these instructions exist. I am just discussing about the opcodes, but there can be large variations of the opcodes based upon this. So, next category of instructions is logical or bit manipulation instruction. As the meaning says, what are the logics? We can have AND, OR, NOT, exclusive OR, etc. So, all the you can also utilize those logical operations whatever you have studied in digital electronics in the form of instructions. Only thing that you have to remember, what is the syntax in writing the opcode and where to use the brackets and how to specify the operands in the instruction. If these three things you know, you can easily write a program in 8086 assembly language. Okay, example 1, not CX. What is the meaning of this? Can you tell the equivalent instruction in 8085? Yes, CMA, complement accumulator. Suppose you want to complement the value of a data, the data must be moved to the accumulator, otherwise you cannot do the complement. But here what you can do, you can use any register to complement. Only the thing is that you have to load a 16 bit or 8 bit data to that register and not CX. That means CX content will be once complemented. Just find out, suppose the initial the data is all 16 zeros. So, after executing this instruction, all 16 ones will be there. If it is zeros are there, ones, similarly it will find out bitwise. Therefore, we call bit manipulation instruction. We access bitwise. So, not CX. Similarly, another instruction and destination source. In the destination place, I can write a register or I can write a memory location address. Even I can write also a 16 bit data that will be ANDed. ANDed means bitwise, every bit position of the source will be ANDed with every corresponding bit of the destination, and the result will be stored in the same corresponding bits in the destination. Or you can say there is a perfect alignment of the bits available in the source, destination and finally the results in the destination. Is it clear? So, that is AND operation. Similarly, another example, OR AX, 2345H. What is the meaning of this? Here bitwise OR operation will take place. 2345 means 16 bit, that 16 bit bitwise will be ORed with a 16 bit data which is available in AX and the result will be stored in AX. Once you do a number of programs, automatically it will be remembered. Another example, XOR AX, BX. What is the meaning of this? Only in the place of OR in this case, exclusive OR operation will be carried out. Okay, can you guess what is the meaning of this instruction? Anybody? SHL AX, CL. Okay, I will give a hint. It is shift. A stands for shift. Shift what? And L stands for left. Shift left. Then how to interpret AX, CL? AX is clearly a register. How many bit register it is? 16 bit register. Okay. So, it is holding some data, a 16 bit data. Then what is the need of CL? So, meaning is that 16 bit data which is available in the register 16 bit AX, right, that will be shifted how many number of times? The value which is stored in CL. Is it clear? Suppose CL value is having 4. So, 4 times you have to shift left. AX content will be 4 times shifted left towards right to left because CL content is 4. Am I clear? So, likewise, the number of times you want to rotate the or shift the content, there is a difference between shift and rotate. Remember, do not use the word rotate. For rotate, we have different instruction. Rotation means it will be that the leftmost bit position must be affecting to the rightmost bit position after the rotation. But here in this case only a number of bit position will be shifted left and that value will be there in CL. Suppose if I write SHL AX comma 1, what is the meaning of this? I am just shifting X content 1 bit position left, because here I am clearly mentioning one value, 1 means 01H. Okay. So, that means this indicates that either you can use a register or you can use a data to indicate how many times you want to shift the content of X. Similarly, another example, shift right AX comma CL. In the left means right to left, right means left to right, only the reverse, the opposite of that. And this is also sometimes required for writing the programs for solving different problems. But still some more instructions are available under the bit manipulation instruction. Example ROL, that is rotate left So, rotate left without carry, ROL means rotate left without carry. You have to clearly remember this, otherwise there may be confusion. Rotate left the content of the register which is specified in the instruction without carry. The meaning is that A0 content will be transferred to A1. What about the A0 content after transfer? It will have the value of A7. And remember, A7 value will be transferred to A0 and at the same time it will also affect the carry flag. So, carry flag will be affected as well as the rightmost bit position will be the leftmost bit position value, right. Similarly, another example, just mark the difference. In ROL it is without carry, but in RCL it is with carry. But how to remember? Wherever C is there with carry and where C is not there it is without carry, which is reverse in 8085. Wherever C is there without carry. So, but here wherever C is there it is with carry. So, that is how we can remember between 8085 and 8086. So, here what is the difference? So, the leftmost bit position will affect the carry flag and a carry flag value will be affected to the A0. Therefore, we call rotate through carry. Is it okay? Similarly, we have another instructions ROR, another is RRL. Just to go through these two instructions, what is the meaning of this? So, this time we have to tell rotate right without carry and rotate right with carry. Is it okay? Okay, we can write a small program. It is not a program, but program segment. HCL X comma 1 move CL comma 02 and RCL X comma CL. What is the meaning of this? Rotate accumulator left by 1 bit position with carry or without carry? With carry, because C is there. Okay. Similarly, by this instruction, initially we are moving 02 to CL. That means we can also write 02 here directly, but sometimes you have to also use the data inside register, and that register you can specify in the instruction, and that will indicate the number of times you are rotating. That is also another way of writing the program. Okay, so next class we shall start writing the programs in 8086, but before writing the program, I will tell that like your high level language, the assembly language 8086 also support macros, and macros are indicating open subroutines. They are different from the closed subroutines and interrupt service routines, because usually we will have three types of subroutines in assembly language. One is macros, that is called open subroutine, second is called closed subroutine, and third is called interrupt service routine. But we should understand what is the difference among these three. Okay? And by using the macros, we can see how the programmer will feel flexible in writing the programs in assembly language, right. And by using interrupt service routine, we shall see that how the different interrupts which are coming to 8086 microprocessors are being serviced by the microprocessor 8086, right. And by using the closed subroutines which we call the procedures, by using the call instruction and return instruction, we can perform some subtasks and return the result into the main program. So, these are the basic functions of the three, but we shall distinguish what are the macros available in 8086. Again, every macro is associated with some syntax and some semantics. As I told you from the beginning, always you will be acquainted or familiar with what is the syntax and semantics associated with the usual instruction set, that is one thing, and macros also has set of instructions we call the macro instructions. Remember, these macro instructions are different from the machine instructions. Whatever we discussed now, they are called the machine instructions. Though we are writing in assembly language, but they have corresponding machine instruction code. Therefore, it is machine instructions. But these macro instructions are not machine instructions, or these macro instructions are also called pseudo instructions, or simply we call macros, right. All three refer to the same meaning: pseudo instructions, macro instructions and macros, right. And for these instructions, we do not have the corresponding machine code is not generated. The machine code will be generated for the machine instructions, but machine codes will not be generated for the pseudo instructions or the macro instructions. Is it okay? So, next class see what are the different types of okay, another term is also used, because I do not want to, because different books follow different terminologies, we should avoid that. So, assembler directives. So, all four are having the same meaning. Macro instruction we can say, pseudo instructions, simply macros, or we can say assembler directives, or we can say open subroutines. All are referred to the same meaning. Am I clear? So, we are interested to know what are the different macros that are available in 8086 or different assembler directives.